Dear Louis C.K., I used to be one of your biggest fans, but today I find my disappointment in you to be immeasurable. I remember back in the day when you made funny, appropriate jokes about the troops, 9/11, child rape, and beheadings, but unfortunately those days are long gone. I want you to know that upon reading the headline, Louis C.K. jokes about gender identity and school shooting survivors, I nearly went to the ER for facepalming myself so hard. It was obvious that these are topics which should never be made fun of, but I figured I would at least try and listen to them with an open mind, even though that's a lie, you fucking monster! You see, I'm a progressive individual, and myself and the rest of our forward-moving society would never stoop down to such a low level and laugh at disgusting jokes like this. These jokes are far from funny. I know because I've told my brain not to laugh at them since I no longer support you. Now, I may not work in your field, but if there's one thing I know about comedy, it's that it has limits. You can't just keep pushing the envelope and talking about topics no one else is willing to cover, and you certainly can't talk about marginalized groups and poke fun at them. In case you're wondering, that includes, but is not limited to, people with disabilities, minorities, drug users, the elderly, the young, the middle-aged, women, LGBTIQA, religious communities, atheist communities, incarcerated people, in-cars people, animals, vegans, and the left. Comedy, Mr. CK, is about playing it safe and making sure your jokes won't offend anyone. But where do you draw the line, you ask? Rape? ISIS? Baby murder? No. Pronouns. You've been found out, sir. Now that you've joked about gender pronouns, I know you must be queerphobic. And ever since those Parkland jokes, I know you must be part of the alt-right. After all, everyone knows it's impossible to poke fun of members of your own political party. The truth is, if you say anything even remotely negative that doesn't coincide with the opinion of the masses, then you're the enemy. Now you might be thinking, if the public continues to outcry every time someone makes an insensitive joke, will it eventually kill comedy? Will comedians be too afraid to write good material and be silenced by outspoken individuals? Will networks start pulling content because instead of people like me choosing not to listen to it, they'd rather bitch and moan until they get their way? Would Ellen DeGeneres be the only non-offensive working comedian in America? Yes. You used to be my hero, Louis. But now you're nothing but an alt-right, Jordan Peterson-loving, racist, sexist, homophobic monster. You probably think I'm just an uptight twat who never heard the ending to that sticks and stones expression. But what's more probable? That you went from being a comedy legend to being completely unfunny over the past year? Or that I'm writing all of this because I want my opinion to be validated and praised all across the internet, when deep down all I want to do is get the enormous stick out of my ass and have a good laugh? I loved you, Louis. But it's clear to me now that the joy I've received from hundreds of your jokes is nothing compared to the outrage I feel towards a few. This is where we part ways. I will no longer be watching your content, although you bet your ass I'll be bitching about it when it comes out. It's time for me to move on, and I know that I am right.